Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, How to Stop Manifesting Separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. What is happening, pile 1? Forgive me while I go and get my water. I'll try and do the intro as loud as I can. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Michelle. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. We're not editing this out though, because this is real life, my loves. Real mother trucking live. Listen. Okay, I won't ramble. I don't know what's being activated right now though, because as soon as I'm tapping into your guys' energy, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I gotta get this, gotta get that, gotta get this. It's like my mind is going in 1,000 different places at one time. Okay, we'll see what's going on with the energies. But anyway, yeah, we're tapping in and channeling through your person, like who you are to them, where you currently stand, and what it is that they're wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. And I just got my water and not my coffee. I'm not going back for my coffee. Okay. Listen, anyway, just keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading, so whatever resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that message or that information, leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available for those of you that would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Ooh, just check the description box below, and looky, I'm just making messes. Oh my God, what is going on with this energy? It's like I knew better, okay? I knew better. My intentions were good, but something about it was like, but I knew better. I feel like that's part of the message here, you guys. What am I going to do to get this cleaned up? Oh my God. I just got, what is that? Your person may have tried to do something to kind of make it maybe like, maybe reset the vibe between you guys or something like that. Like the intention was good, but it backfired. Okay. All right. I'm kind of getting those vibes. No, I'm hearing that song. I forget, but you didn't have to cut me off. But you didn't have to cut me off. Okay. And whatever the rest of that, there's something about like, you know, something like making out like we were nothing. Your person is feeling like a stranger for some reason when it comes to you now. Okay, a lot of channeled messages coming through, and I haven't even made it all the way through the intro yet. Anyway, yeah, check the description box below for all the booking details. That's where you can find the personal readings, you guys. Okay, I even have this exact reading available as a personal if you would like to book it. And there's a lot of other readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. So go check them out, you guys, okay? Your person might be wanting a second chance. If y'all broke up or if you walked away, you guys were drawn to, what is this, the Labradorite cat? Okay. Oh, yeah. We got the here and now. Which is all about being in the present moment. And I'm looking at this card here, right? The number 32 could be significant, or the number 5. There's somebody here, like in that card, she's right in between the past and the future. And trying to make peace with the present, okay? There could be an attachment that your person, and here we got the devil. Yeah, okay, there's attachments here, okay? And then we got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Your person is obsessing about this connection for some reason, pile 1. And that makes sense with that song that came through. If you cut them off, if you walked away, and they're feeling as if you're treating them in the connection as if it was nothing, okay? They could be fantasizing about you. With the devil energy here, what is that? That's Capricorn energy coming through. And, you know, with them fantasizing about you, what they're thinking about is wish fulfillment, right? With the 9 of Cups there, how, you know, and they could also be, you know, because the devil energy is all kinds of attachments. It's more like toxic attachment, though. And so your person could have a very insecure attachment style. They could be in a limerent space with you and with their connection with you. They could be using memories of you or thoughts of you in their connection with you as a way to self-soothe and regulate their nervous system. And the things that they could be thinking about, or the feelings, is like, you know, that's their way of tapping into like emotional fulfillment. That 10 of Cups is happily ever after. That they're fantasizing about happily ever after, but it's more than fantasizing. I mean, they're obsessively thinking about it with that devil energy, okay? There's definitely an attachment, a very strong toxic attachment to, you know, I'm not saying that there isn't an actual bond or a connection, but your person is like too hyper attached. It's not even bordering toxic, it is toxic, right? And so there's nothing wrong with needing and desiring somebody, and you know, we can have healthy cravings for things, but this is like obsessive in a bad way, okay? Not to say that you guys have anything to worry about. It's just telling, like, who are you to your person, pile 1? You're the one that they're obsessing about. You're the one they're thinking about all the time. You're the one that they see as wish fulfillment. You know, you're the one they see as happily ever after, but there's a sense of, like, you know, you cut them off, you walked away, and they're feeling as if you're treating them in the connection as if it meant nothing, okay? Let's see, their current thoughts and feelings towards you. Maybe one more shuffle. I just cut the deck and noticed it. It says, I'm not a safe space for you and I'm scared shitless. Okay, they're not. You know, that devil energy can be there for more than just reasons of, like, you know, their attachment to you. You know, they could be very much steeped in self-sabotage. They're not even a safe space for themselves, so they're not going to be able to be a safe space for you. Okay? All right, let's see. Their real thoughts and feelings. I was being selfish. Yeah, and that's right underneath the devil. And that's what can happen with somebody in devil energy, okay? That's survival mode. That's very selfish and self-centered. And so when they fantasize and think about you, you know, being wish fulfillment, or the connection itself being wish fulfillment, but it's you. This is you, right? The 9 of Cups is you as an individual. So they see you as wish fulfillment. And then that 10 of Cups is your guys' connection. They see, you know, so both. It's like you and their connection with you. They're seeing as, you know, emotional fulfillment, as happily ever after. But there's a caveat there, right? This is not being born out of a very healthy, self-regulated space. It's being born out of a very toxic space. Like they're pulling on your energy, okay? So for some of you, this might be more of a specific message, but you could have experienced this person as being very draining on your energy because, you know, they're unable to fill their own cup or their own void, and so they're pulling on your energy to do that. We have, yeah, strictly sexual. But that's not entirely the truth because of the orientation of the card, the way that it was coming out. It wanted me to know that on the other side of that, it says more than just sex to me, okay? They're not saying that that's all, because again, they see their connection with you as like happily ever after. They see a family with you, right? They see that vision with you. So, it's not necessarily that they only want you for sex. It might be just, especially that devil energy here, that's mainly, that might be mainly how they're able to access your energy. I mean, we're getting a little, you know, I'll try and keep it as PG as possible, but they could fantasize a lot about, you know, having sex with you. They may want to, you know, they have the intention or they have the desire to just keep things strictly sexual between you, even though you mean more to them than just sex for some reason. Again, this is just highlighting, you know, they're very much, I don't know, there's distortion with it though. A lot of their fantasies with you are centered around that devil energy. And so, yeah, they might think of you as happily ever after, but a lot of it is centered on, you know, you as a sexual being. They could have, especially with that devil and the Ten of Cups there, they might have like a breeding fetish or a kink with you. Like constantly, you know, like they could fantasize about, you know, either getting pregnant by you or getting you pregnant, having babies with you. But again, this is coming from a very selfish space, okay? They're not necessarily thinking about your guys' connection and, you know, what they can do for you and how they can make you feel good. It's all very self-centered and self-focused. It's born out of, if you notice, the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups is coming out of that devil energy. And right underneath that devil energy, it says, I'm selfish, right? I'm being selfish. Their fantasies are very selfish driven, self-centered driven. What you're doing for them, how you're making them feel, how you're, you know, improving their life. There's not a lot of, you know, them fantasizing about what they're doing for you, how they're being a safe space for you, how they're, you know, making you feel. Not to say that they're not a very giving lover, like in bed, right? That they don't focus on, you know, wanting you to get yours. But if even with that being the case, it's still coming from a very selfish place, right? It has nothing to do, I'm not going to say it has nothing to do with, you know, wanting to pleasure you and stuff like that. It's more like it's an ego boost. That's what that devil is. It's ego. It's an ego boost, right? It's not like, oh, I made pile one really feel good and this and that. It's your reaction and how it made them feel, right? There's an overwhelming sense of your person using you and your energy and this connection as fuel. It's a fuel source for them, okay? A very potent and a very active fuel source. They could legitimately be addicted to you and their connection with you, pile one, okay? Specifically, your guys' sexual connection. I'm highlighting sexual. It's not even a romantic, even though we do have cup energy here. If they are romantic and affectionate, it's for selfish reasons, and there's a sexual energy that's underpinning that and driving that. It's not so much born. It's not born of a heart space, right? This is all ego. This is all pride driven. get one more. If you cut them off, pile one, they are in their feelings about it. And it's definitely, it's agitating and hyper activating their desire, their sexual desire for you. And that might be why they are squarely in that devil energy right now. For those of you who have walked away or cut contact with your person, let's get one more, or you're just not talking to them for whatever reason. We got you're my soulmate. Yeah, see, it's not your person for whatever reason. There is a deeper connection underneath all of, and that's what attachment and abandonment wounds can often do. They can take, you know, a sincere bond and a connection, and it can pervert it, right? It can distort it, and that's exactly what's happening here. Because underneath that all, underneath all of that, your person is like, you're really my soulmate, and that's showing up underneath the Ten of Cups. They really feel like that. And, you know, they have this devil energy that is just perverting everything. Okay? At the bottom of the deck, we have, am I really your one and only? In the sense and the context that it's coming through with this reading, your person, you know, they could have a sex addiction. I mean, yeah, they're definitely addicted to, like, you know, like if you've gone there, they're addicted to that with you specifically. And they could have an overarching just, you know, addiction to third parties, addiction to, you know, attention and validation from third parties. And so they could be doing a lot of projection. You know, if they're dabbling in third parties all the time, you know, they're in the back of their mind wondering if you're doing the same thing. Okay. And for some of you, you might, you know, especially if you are not with this person, you legitimately could be, you know, out there dating or putting yourself out there and stuff, but this almost feels like it's background energy. And so it feels like this is something that's been a part of your guys's dynamic for a while, not just recently. Yeah, it's coming through more of projection. Your person is wondering whether or not you're their one, if they are your one and only, because you weren't, right? I mean, with temptation with the devil here, there's that could lead to or point to elements of cheating, right? Probably sexual, because, you know, with that sexual element there and the devil. But them craving validation and attention from third parties, what's coming through pile one is that no one's attention and validation quite hit like yours. What they get from you is far more potent than they get from anybody else. Period. They're saying period. And so, very specific message coming through. If there is an established third-party dynamic going on here, you're the one they crave the most. And that's universal, period. But if there's a love triangle that you know about, I mean, some of you, when I mean love triangle, I mean, for a lot of you, you walked away from your person and you cut them off, right? But if you know that your person is with someone else, you know, just know they crave you more than they crave that person. Okay. I'm hearing something upset the dynamic. That's something upset the dynamic, or something is upsetting the dynamic. And I feel like that's tied to the third party. It's not a third party reading though, but something is upsetting the dynamic between them and the third party. For some reason that message came through. Okay. So, let's see, where do you currently stand with your person? We got soulmates coming out again, pile one, okay? So just know, or again, reiterating, you're more than just sex to your person, but that is specifically what they are craving, okay? There is an underlying bond. There is a deep soulmate connection and a bond between the two of you, okay? You are more than just sex to them. With that Ten of Cups, for who you are to them, they could see you as family, okay? Real, like they're real family. A very specific message coming through. For those of you where you know your person is with someone else, like they're committed to someone else, it's like you're the one they want to be with. Okay, literally coming through saying, you know, pile one is my real family. Okay, the dragonfly, it says be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. Okay, what was that? Showing up in the reverse, we got separation in the reverse. Okay, yeah, some of y'all, most of y'all are in separation with your person. Okay, they don't like it though. Photograph at the bottom of the deck, we have looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. Separation in the upright position says sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. They don't like that. So where you stand with them, they may not quite, because I believe there's a card in here that talks about reunion. Your person isn't necessarily saying that they want to reunite the family, because that is showing up right on top of the Ten of Cups. And so if there is a specific dynamic that you're wanting to reestablish, or, you know, that's the only way you would even fathom, you know, giving this person a second chance, they're not ready for that. Either they're not ready for it, or they're just flat out not down for that, right? They, for whatever reason, they want to keep things strictly sexual, even though to them you are more than just sex to them. And it could be for reasons that we were talking about. If there is an established if there is a third party that they are already committed to, okay? They don't want to be separated from you. They don't want to be in this breakup. I'm hearing post breakup. They don't like missing you, right? But they're also not ready to reconcile, maybe in the way that you want to reconcile. Okay, so your person's looking at your photos. They are missing you. We got that out here twice. Okay, separation says missing you. They don't like missing you, but they are. And then we got missing you with photograph. It also says nostalgia and making new memories. Yeah. And that's right there with that here and now. Your person isn't necessarily wanting to just file this connection and just leave it in the past. They don't like where the connection is at for where you stand with them, pile one. They don't like where it's at. Okay. It feels like a lot of you are in separation, or at least things are very tense. Okay. For many of you, there's some kind of a third party dynamic going on, or your person just has a really bad habit of dabbling in third party energies just overall. Okay. That makes them not a safe space for you. We also have the dragonfly showing right next to separation in the reverse. And so they might be trying to adapt to, you know, the separation, the distance between the two of you. And yeah, distance could be geographical, right? Physical distance, but it could also be they're trying to adapt to you putting mental and emotional distance between the two of you. It's certainly sexual distance. It's funny because romance is not coming through. Romantic energies. It's mental, emotional. Now the energy of that is there, but your person's like they're not interested in a romantic connection with you at this time. Okay, and that might be too. It says be lighthearted and finding out things coming to light. They just said they love you. They do love you, pile one. That came through very strongly. And then the energy dropped. They just want to leave it at that. They do love you. They don't like the separation, but they're trying for whatever reason to kind of adapt to it. And then with that dragonfly energy too, you know, just wanting to keep things lighthearted. That's showing up right on top of the Nine of Cups and strictly sexual. It's like, you know, they don't have the space, the internal resources to entertain anything more than just a strictly sexual connection with you at this point in time. I'm going to be honest. It says unsure about the future. It's interesting though, because that is showing up in the reverse. Let me clarify that real quick. There could be energies here, pile one, that your person knows. Okay, that the two of you are going to be together again. It's so weird and so strange. I mean, there's definitely influences here of third-party energies, whether it's one specific third party or it's just your person has a really, it could be both. It could, you know, your person could just have a really hard time staying loyal and faithful to whomever they're with. Tell me about separation in the reverse, specifically unsure of the future in the reverse. For where? Oh, they are unsure of the future. That's specifically what they're not liking, okay? Uncertainty, not knowing what's going on or what's going to happen between the two of you, because they do see you as their family, their real family, okay? I'm glad I held off on explaining more about that until I clarified it. All they know, what they do know for sure, is that they do know that you're a soulmate. They do know that there's a soul connection here. Underneath all the drama, underneath, you know, this devil energy, right? There, for some of you, your person even knows that they are... God, the energy on that dropped again. Which usually, you guys, what that means is, because I channel as I talk, right? If the energy drops when I'm getting ready to relay a message, it's either because it's too specific or it's not the strongest, right? Or for some reason, it's like that message is being held back. The channel closes, basically, right? Yeah. 10 of Wands. This is feeling overwhelmed, overburdened. This is your person's energy. And for where you stand with them, with that dragonfly energy, it's like they don't have any other space to be anything other than a sexual partner to you. Even though you are more to them than that. Okay? Let's see what they want. What does pile one's person ultimately want when it comes to pile one in their connection with pile one? What do they want? Unvalued, taken for granted, unequal give and take. Yeah. Yep. And that's showing up right there with I was being selfish and the devil. Okay, let's get a couple more. Oh, that's what it was. Your person knows they're not honoring your guys' connection. That's why the energy dropped, because it wasn't ready to be shared yet. Okay, because it's in this context that your person is being very selfish, and they are very aware that you guys have a soulmate, for real, a soulmate connection that they know is important, that they know is impactful, right? And they know that they are not honoring the energy of your guys' connection. They're not honoring it. They're going against it, right? Let's get a couple more. We got the soulmate again. This is so interesting, you guys. Oh, wow. And then we got engagement. Bottom of the deck is options. Okay. But that is bottom of the deck energy. You know, the energies that are coming front and center, you guys. A couple of things. Notice how soulmates up here shows up over the devil. Okay, and then soulmate down here shows up over strictly sexual. Okay, your guys' bond and your soul connection is stronger than your person's devil energy, their wounding, their self-sabotaging ways. It is stronger. Okay, the bond and the soulmate connection is stronger. And then we also have engagement, which says commitment / promises, making it official in marriage in your future. And that is showing up right underneath where it says unsure of the future in the reverse. This is what your person wants. And then engagement showing up right there with 10 of Cups. You're their family. You're the one they want to spend the rest of their life with. You're the one they want to commit to and marry. Okay, so if there is an established third party in the mix, that's not the person they want, pile one. That's the person they are actively sabotaging with. And I almost feel like for some of you, your person knows that they're doing that. Options at the bottom of the deck says difficult decision, exploring possibility, fear of choosing wrong. That might be why they're sabotaging, because they might be fearful of making a wrong choice for some reason, okay, in your guys' situation. Let me see with that bottom of the deck energy real quick. Tell me more about options. Also, for where you stand with your person, pile one, they do want to make new memories. They do not want to leave this connection behind. They don't want your guys' separation to be a permanent one. Okay, this almost is carrying the energy of wanting to put your guys' connection kind of like off to the side while they handle whatever it is they got going on that showed up in that Ten of Wands energy, which could include options, a third party or just third party energies, that devil energy, right? That is driving them to self-sabotage with a third party or third parties in general. Okay, because they know they're not a safe space for you. Tell me more about options, please, at the bottom of the deck. That's still active energy. Yeah. This is probably why your person is saying, like, you know, because they might have an understanding if they try to commit to you now, that they're not going to be a safe space for you, because they know this devil energy is very active. We got the Three of Swords, okay? Clarifying options at the bottom of the deck. You know, this separation could be a difficult decision for your person as well. It's like there might, especially, okay, and this is very specific for those of you that are in some kind of a third party triangle, like that decision requires someone's heart is going to get broken. Your person's heart, you know, or it could also be that it's breaking their heart. They know them dabbling in options is breaking your heart. They know that, you know, experimenting or exploring possibilities with other people or someone else is breaking your heart. And so, you know, regardless of who walked away, it's like your person is going to honor the space between the two of you. You know, and yeah, they're saying, you know, the reason why they want something just strictly sexual is because they don't want to completely sever the bond, right? Or the connection, I should say. They don't want to completely, but it's like that's all they have to offer. They are square in that devil energy, and they know what it's doing to you with that Three of Swords. They know what it's doing to you. They know it's hurting you and causing you pain. And they know with this unvalued here, it says unequal give and take. They know that you don't feel appreciated because of their actions. They know that. And they don't want that for you, right? They don't want to make you feel that way. Ultimately, what they're wanting, pile one, is they want to commit to you. They want to make it official with you. They want to marry you. They want to have that family life and that dynamic with you, okay? But they are dealing with a very active devil energy in their life. You know, attachment issues, abandonment wounds, addiction even with that devil there. But addictions are always born out of some kind of wounding or trauma and stuff like that. And your person is like, I got to get this shit handled. I'm just not a safe space. They're not a safe space for you, right? But they're not a safe space for anybody, because they're not even a safe space for themselves. All right, pile one. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, please. Smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't yet already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile one, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, you guys. What's going on, pile two? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle, and we are back doing another pick a card love reading. And we are channeling through your person, like who you are to them, what it is that they are wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you, and where do you stand. Okay, so just keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading. Whatever resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something doesn't quite land, just drop that information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. There's a lot of readings available in the specific person category, including this one, this exact reading in this exact format as a personal. There's also a lot of other $25 readings available. So go see which ones fit your guys' needs. Pile 2, you guys were drawn to. That smoke is going right up to the phone. Now it's surpassing it, but that was neat how it went right up to the phone there for a minute. So you guys might be or could use maybe some cleansing or like an energetic reset or like a salt bath or something like that. Okay. Oh yeah, and then you guys were drawn to the Ametrine, which is citrine and amethyst together. Okay. Citrine corresponds to the solar plexus chakra. It's all about empowerment, knowing that you can do what you need to do, whatever it takes. You got the power to do that, right? Self-empowerment. It's also the energy of just it's happy and it's joyful. Citrine is one of the very few stones that do not need to be cleansed, okay? Energetically cleansed. And then it's coupled with amethyst, which can be good for, you know, it's spiritual purposes, right? The crown chakra. There's also something coming through about your guys' throat. There might be something unspoken. I don't know if it's you or if it's just something going on in your guys' connection. I feel like, anyway, God, there's a lot of information coming through. Let's see what's going on. Let's see, who are you to your person? Okay, we got go the distance. We also have the 5 of Cups in the reverse, the 4 of Swords in the reverse, the 6 of Swords. Okay, I just heard your person say, we can get through this. We can get through this. We can move through this with that 6 of Swords there. Okay, so I mean, there may have been, with that go the distance, right? This is your person coming through in a very realistic, very sobering energy. And it's funny with sober because that's what, you know, the amethyst there. Yeah, and so your person is not dismissing or disregarding the fact that there may have been some very turbulent waters between the two of you. Their tensions could still be high, right? At the very least, disappointments, regrets. It's a soft energy though. It's not coming through in like the 5 of Swords, right? It's coming through in the 5 of Cups in the reverse. And so there is a desire here to want to maybe move past something that, you know, your person might regret. Wanting to move past disappointment, maybe soften up the energy between the two of you. 5 of Cups in the upright position, that can be depression, that can be disappointment, that can be guilt, that can be regret, that can be focusing on what was lost rather than what still stands. And so with that being in the reverse position, this is your person wanting to maybe reset their focus and not focused on the past, but focus on like the future, what still remains that we can build on, right? They could be feeling very restless with the 4 of Swords in the reverse here. They're wanting, okay, they don't like being in this 5 of Cups energy. They're wanting to move away from it, okay? 5 of Cups energy, again, regret, disappointment, sadness, depression, guilt, stuff like that. They want to move past it, right? They feel like there's unfinished business between the two of you there with the World in the reverse, okay? Again, it's like your person, something may have happened. There's like a rupture that feels like may have happened between the two of you, and your person's like, I know we can get through this. We can work through this. They see your guys' connection and you and for who you are to them as having the ability to get through this and go the distance, right? It's like it's an obstacle. Whatever happened between the two of you, it's recoverable, it's restorable, stuff like that, okay? The World, I believe, is Capricorn energy showing up there. All right, let's see what their thoughts and feelings are. Real quick, we're just going to get a few of these. One more shuffle. Okay. Pile 2's person, what are their honest true thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 at this point in time. Trust issues. Okay. Your person understands this is a part of it. Okay. I'm also hearing them say they understand you have questions, or that you're gonna have questions. Again, they're coming through in this very sober energy. They want to work things out. They want to work through this. They want to restore things between the two of you. And it's not coming from a let's just sweep things under the rug kind of an energy. It's like, no, you know, I understand you got trust issues, right? And that could just be blanket. Like, they might know, you know, that you just have trust issues in general, and they could also know that you have trust issues specifically with them. Again, there's a sense of a rupture between the two of you that's coming through, and that you might now have trust issues because of it, okay? But they want to work towards, you know, oh yeah, look, it says, sorry, please forgive me. Showing up right underneath that 4 of Swords. Your person is feeling very restless about bridging the gap that has opened up between the two of you, okay? They want to apologize. They want to make it up to you. They want to make things right. So that's the energy of justice coming through. They want to make things right with you. They want to get back in good standing with you. We also, and then now we have 6 of Swords. I'm sorry, this is under the 6 of Swords. It says, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. Bottom of the deck, we have something, someone else has my attention. Okay, let me check that. What's going on with that? Tell me about something someone else has. It could be a person. I just saw the Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign. Let's see, something else has my attention. Earth is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, this is passing energy, okay? This may have what caused the rupture. You know, third-party energy coming through, whether or not it's a person or it's just an interfering energy. Whatever it was, I feel like that's what caused the rupture between the two of you. They're focusing their attention going towards something or someone else, okay? Heavily for most of you, it's a person that maybe they were committed to, you know, with that Pentacle energy, the Queen of Pentacle energy coming through. But again, it's passing energy. It's weakening. It's not background energy. It's actually on its way out. Okay, and this might be why your person is like wanting to patch things up with you. Very apologetic about it. It's interesting though. Let me why the queen? Oh, that's funny. I was just about to ask why the Queen of Pentacles and then the Queen of Swords came through. Very specific. It's a feminine energy, okay? Initially, your person could have maybe committed to that person, or at least devoted more time and attention and resources to that person because, I mean, finances could have been involved, right? But it's like it went from the Queen of Pentacles to the Queen of Swords. In the upright position, though, very detached, very cool. There's an energy of like it made sense to them. This is very specific. If this does not resonate for you, or you can even apply it to, you know, a situation rather than just a person. Like, they could have went towards something motivated by for financial reasons, you know. If not financial reasons, it also could have just been, you know, that opportunity or that person just looked promising, right? Looked stable, looked grounded, looked promising is what's coming through. And not to say that it wasn't, but there's a very different energy between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, not necessarily bad, but it's almost like it kind of, the energy of it switched up. Okay, and that energy switching up feels like why this energy, if it is a third party dynamic, the third party dynamic's on its way out, because the reason why your person got into it right? What they thought it was, it ended up being something else. Tell me about I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. Tell me about the Seven of Wands in the reverse, clarifying I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. They let their guard down on something. Ah, okay. They may have given up. Okay, yeah. Your person may have given up, all right, on you and their connection with you, because this is showing up underneath the Six of Swords, and we do have third-party energy coming through, whether it's a person or a situation, right? They gave up because they didn't feel like they were good enough for you. That's why they moved away if they did. Okay, if they went in a different direction away from you and their connection with you, pile 2, that's why. Okay, they didn't feel good enough for you. Okay, but I feel that they are reorienting back towards you. They want to come back. For those of you where you are separated, if you're not separated, they want to put the focus back on you and their connection with you and restoring that connection. Okay, again, that world here says they feel like there is unfinished business between the two of you, and outside of your connection, they don't feel like they're doing too good with that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. They're not doing good at all. I mean, there could be some karmic debts happening with your person just because of the way they treated you and their connection with you. In form of, like, you know, your person could be losing things. You know, we won't stay there for too long, but that energy, did justice come through earlier? Yeah, they want to make things up to you. They're not doing too well. We'll just leave it at that with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. That can usually talk about codependency, okay? They could be very codependent on you and their energy with you. That could be, you know, that could be an attachment thing that they're needing to work on, or, you know, insecurities and stuff like that. What are we doing? Okay, where do they stand? Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Where does pile 2 currently stand? Paradise. Oh, yeah. A couple of things. This is what they've always seen this connection as, is paradise, heaven on earth, Garden of Eden, that kind of a thing. And it's showing up right on top of, like, the Five of Cups and the Four of Swords, okay? It's like they want that back. They want to restore it, okay? Very anxious about it with that Four of Swords showing up right next to it, okay? They feel guilty and they feel bad if they stepped away and out of it towards something or someone else, all right? But this is where you currently stand with them. It says happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. Yeah, there's a dynamic between the two of you, and that playfulness is connecting me right to that citrine energy, which is connecting me right back to the solar plexus, right? 5th house energy, Leo energy, just playful, like putting on a pedestal. It's like your person is putting their connection with you on a pedestal. They're highlighting it. They're spotlighting it. They want to, you know, whereas before they may have, you know, you felt maybe pile 2 that they were neglecting it, and they may have because of this something someone else has my attention. Right now, they've done, what I'm hearing is they flipped. They've done a complete 180, okay? Whereas they may have walked away from your guys' connection, or made you feel like they were neglecting this connection, or not honoring it, or not giving it the attention that it deserves. Now they're flipping that dynamic, and they want to reorient back towards you and their connection with you. Let's get a couple more. Cupid's arrow, but it is showing up in the reverse. So upright, it says have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting, and it's the hesitation. Your person does want to reach out, and it's showing up underneath the Four of Swords. that might be also what's making them feel so restless, is because they want to get together with you. They want to reach out. They want to extend an invitation to reconcile, to meet up. But it's not necessarily reconciliation, though, in a grand sense. Like, let's reconcile the family. Let's reconcile the marriage. Let's reconcile the, the committed connection. It's more just like, can we meet up and talk about it, right? I'm picking up specific energies of your person wanting to maybe like invite you on an actual date and talk about all of this, okay? Let's get one more. But it's like it's in the reverse, so it's not ready. That invitation, the energy of that invitation coming from your person is there, pile 2, but it's not ready. Okay, when you think about Cupid's arrow, you think about the bow, right? It's there. The arrow is there with the bow, but they're not quite ready to, like, pull it back and release whatever that thing is, the string or the bow. Okay, the invitation's there. They're not ready to launch it yet, okay, for some reason. I'll see if I can tap into why that might be. It could be connected to this third party energy over here. Heartbroken. Yeah, this is where you stand with them, okay? This is deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. Right on top of that 6 of Swords, that's exactly what your person's wanting to move away from, is this energy. They are lost without you, pile 2, okay? I'm hearing them say they never thought they'd see it. They didn't see it coming. They didn't think that they would feel like that. They weren't expecting it. They're not necessarily saying that, they underestimated the power of your guys' connection. For some reason, it just didn't dawn on them that leaving you or breaking up with you or separating from you would have this kind of impact on them. And so there's a very specific message coming through for some of you. If they left you for someone else, oh, the energy dropped right there. It might come in again later. That's odd. Okay, that'll come back. All right, but I do feel like there's a message coming in for those of you specifically where it resonates that your person left their connection with you to go be with someone else. We'll see if that message comes through, okay? We got runner at the bottom of the deck. It says runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, and listening to ego. Let me check that real quick. This could be current energies. They could still be running from their connection with you for some, or avoiding, I should say, avoiding, especially with that Cupid's arrow showing in the reverse. The energy is there for them to want to return. The energy for the invitation is there. They're not launching it yet. So tell me about the runner showing up at the bottom of the deck, please. Your person could be like a disorganized avoidant or a fearful avoidant because, they're showing up in both codependent energy on you and then like avoidant energy with you and their connection with you, okay? This is, okay, they did walk away. This is still active energy. They're not ready to, they want to come back, but they're not ready to come back yet, okay? Let me see if I can find out why. It could be, it's because there's this Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck again. It's because of that third party. It is. That's why they're not ready to come back yet. There could be also unfinished business with that third party as well that's needing to be wrapped up. All right, pile 2. Let's see. Let me see what they want. What do they want? If it's not a person, then it's, that Queen of Pentacles is representing the energy of whatever that situation or that something is, okay? Could be work. Could be regarding finances. Let's see, ghosting. Oh, right underneath trust issues, it says abrupt ending, no closure. Yeah, they don't want closure. That's not what they're wanting, okay? Ending all communication. Let's see, what else do they want? They don't want closure. That world in the reverse, okay? They don't want this separation or this breakup between the two of you to be permanent. That's not what they want. They do not want closure, pile 2, okay? They actually want to reconcile for many of you, but then we got separation showing up underneath. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Underneath the Four of Swords in the reverse and Cupid's arrow. I'm telling you, there's something else going on that your person is needing to like deal with, wrap up, let it run its course. Separation says withdraw, disconnect, tests of love, and relationship breaking down. What do they want? Angry. This says resentment, invalidated, mistreated, and being triggered. This is interesting. Bottom of the deck says closed heart. Okay, that makes sense. It says unavailable, avoiding intimacy and emotional burdens right now. Okay, so, you know, little mini tiny lesson here. If somebody is operating from their wounded self, their abandonment wound, their attachment issues and stuff like that, because, you know, you can want, there's a God self and there's a wounded self, and you know, both things can want the same things but for very different reasons, right? And then a lot of the times the God self and the wounded self are in a direct opposition. You know, the God self might want one thing, the wound wants something completely different. And so your person's wounded energy is coming through with what they're wanting. They want separation, they want a ghost, they want to run in the opposite direction. They want to stay separated. They want to withdraw, right? And yes, even in that wounded energy, that wound wants to be triggered, believe it or not, okay? Your person could have a wound that is tied to feeling invalidated. And that might be why they went towards a third party option, or just third parties in general, or they went just towards a third party interfering energy, right? Because they were seeking validation. The thing about a wound, you guys, is that it doesn't matter. It's like a black hole. It's a void. It's a vacuum. You can throw all of the validation at it as you possibly can, and it will never be satisfied, ever. So your person isn't saying that they never felt validated with you. It wasn't enough, and it's never going to be enough. This is a wound that your person is needing to heal, okay? And so, you know, that's why they were, you know, possibly went into a different, and that, you know, again, when it went from the Queen of Pentacles to the Queen of Swords, you know, they might have thought they were going to get some kind of sustenance there. You know, sustenance meaning like they were going to get fed, their needs were going to get met, right? And this is erroneous thinking. If they are not understanding and realizing, like, you know, the hunger that you have is not coming from actual physiological hunger. It's coming from a wound. It's coming from an open, gaping wound that is more like a black hole than anything. They don't understand. They're never going to feel satiated. They're never going to feel full. They're never going to feel satisfied. You can throw everything that you can at it. It's just going to gobble it up and tell you it needs more, right? And so, yeah, they may have gone towards someone else, trying to see if maybe that person or that situation was going to help fill their needs. Because at some point, your person could have felt like their needs weren't being met by you and their connection with you. But they now know their needs are not being met over there either, because it's an internal issue that your person has, okay? It's not that you weren't meeting their needs. Your person was operating from a gaping wound that, you know, it didn't matter what you did to validate them. You know, they'd always find something else that they would need validation for. Okay, so needs can change. We won't get into too much of that, right? Closed heart at the bottom of the deck again says unavailable, avoiding intimacy and emotional burdens. Yeah, it's more that runner energy. Okay. I feel like this is so open-ended. They want to come back. They want to reconcile. They feel like there's unfinished business between the two of you. They're feeling very restless in your guys' absence. If you guys are disconnected and broken up, they don't feel good in that spot at all. Okay, and whatever that message that was wanting to come through but that got shut down is not coming through for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let me see if I can dig it out. I mean, it may not. Oh, there's the Seven of Wands again in the reverse. The Queens of Wands in the reverse. It just feels like whatever they got going on, whatever they thought they were going to get with that third party ended up not. It just ended up not. It could have went from looking very promising to all of a sudden, like, looking very promising, even maybe, like, you know, just speaking in metaphors, right? Looking like it was, oh, it's promising and it's going to be the best thing ever, exactly what I'm looking for, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like it lost its luster really quick. And then it eventually lost its attraction. Okay. What does this mean for their connection with pile 2? Oh, yeah. So they went towards somebody that they thought were going to be a perfect match. Turns out they weren't. You're the perfect match, because the third party is showing up as the Queen of Wands in the reverse. You're showing up as a King of Wands, right? Now, again, the King of Wands doesn't necessarily, in this context, because there's only one Queen of Wands, you know, this would have shown up as the Queen of Wands in the upright position. They thought the third party was their perfect match. They're wrong. They were wrong. Now they see that you are. Okay. But there's this feeling like whatever it is they got going on with the third party, it's something that needs to run its course now. So it's not just something for whatever reason that they're able to just walk away from. It has to run its course. I feel like the fuel and the fire in the engine itself is stopped, but it's like coasting until it finally coasts to a stop, right? Oh, wow. Yeah, your person is they're operating from some kind of a wounding, you guys. It's all over the place with the runner, you know, that Cupid's arrow showing up in the reverse, all this stuff down here with ghosting and separation and angry. And then we got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse again, okay? Very heavy on the fearful, disorganized, avoidant attachment style for your person. Go check it out. I think it's one of the worst. I don't want to say, I don't want to label it, but it's one of the most challenging attachment styles to have, I believe, and the most confusing for both parties, right? Yeah, we're going to leave it there. It feels so open-ended, but that feels like where your guys' connection is at. Meaning like not knowing what's going to happen, where's it going to go, if things between you guys could shift. You might kind of feel like you know where things are going, and then right at the last minute things change and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all might have some kind of like mental and or emotional whiplash from dealing with this person or just being in this connection, because it's like, I feel like the tides can change often. Okay. All right, pile 2, thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't yet already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 2, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, you guys. What is going on, pile 3? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle, and we are back doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you currently stand with them, and what it is that they are wanting from you and their connection with you ultimately. Okay, so just keep in mind it's a collective general love reading. Whatever resonates, take it, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the details can be found in the description box below. Many readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. Go see which ones fit your guys' needs, okay? So you guys were drawn to the, this is a Herkimer diamond, kind of has like a golden healer quality to it. And there's a lot of rainbows in this one. So your person might be wanting clarity when it comes to you and their connection with you, pile 3, okay? There's a sense of wanting to do the right thing when it comes to you and their connection with you. Let's find out who you are to them. We have, okay, yeah, fork in the road. Definitely. Oh, and there's some, and I feel like that's what, because we got the 5 of Swords, Justice, and the Ace of Pentacles. That's what they're wanting clarity. That's what I'm picking up on sword and like cutting through the fog, cutting through whatever. There's tension here with this 5 of Swords. A lot of tension. This could also be conflict and chaos between the two of you. So who you are to your person, okay? You're conflict and chaos to them, all right? You are someone, you could be drama to them. Now, they are coming through and saying that it's not, they're not putting it all on you. So this is more coming from like how they're describing like what your connection is to them, right? You are someone that they could constantly be in conflict and chaos with. Not saying that you are conflict and chaos, but you are in, you know, just what I said. You are someone that they are in conflict and chaos with, at least right now, right? Yeah, okay, so that Justice is wanting to cut through the tension, cut through the battles, cut through the, because, you know, 5 of Swords energy can also be very egoic, right? Woundings, the 5 of Swords energy can come out of activated wounding. So for who you are to your person, you are someone that they're needing to make, I'm hearing a quick decision about. They need to make a quick decision about, and that's why they're wanting clarity. But they do want to do the right thing with Justice there. That's Libra energy, by the way. And then we also have the Ace of Pentacles showing up. They see a real potential when it comes to, you know, your guys' connection. But for who you are to them, it's like they can see things could be grounded if it wasn't for this 5 of Swords energy here. This can be like a battle of the wits between the two of you. It can just be clashing egos with that 5 of Swords energy there. And so what your person wants and who you are to them, it's like they want to cut through that 5 of Swords, right? If that's even possible. I'm hearing they don't want the tension between the two. They don't enjoy it. Okay, they don't want it. Let's find out what their thoughts and feelings are real quick, because there is kind of a thing here with an Ace of Pentacles that can signify a new beginning. That is still there for who you are to your person, regardless of whatever drama, conflict, and chaos the two of you might be currently in. They still see potential for a new beginning that is actually grounded and rooted in the real world, right? Because the Ace of Pentacles, Pinnacle energy is movement in the actual physical 3D reality, okay? So that can look like commitment, but actually taking steps towards that, okay? I will say in this energy, it does feel like they're leaning more towards, because the fork in the road is coming through in the energy of like, okay, do we go our separate ways or do we try again? Okay, it's that kind of an energy. Do we continue to try and ground this thing into reality, or do we go our separate ways? It feels like they're leaning towards trying to like fight for your guys' connection with the Ace of Pentacles there. Okay, let's get one more shuffle. Unconcerned and focused on self. Yeah, this feels like two people with very active wounding butting heads against each other, and this is coming through on both ends, not just theirs. Okay, and which happens, you know, if you got two people who, and it can be a vicious cycle, you know. You guys are definitely not thriving currently in this connection at all. The potential for that is there with the Ace of Pentacles, but there's something going on with this 5 of Swords energy that has to be like moved out of the way before that seed can even, you know, be planted and take root. It feels like the seed is planted, but it's not taking root because it keeps getting hijacked by that Five of Swords energy there. Let's get a couple more. This is like two people at odds with each other constantly. But I mean, the fact that we still have the Ace of Pentacles still there, regardless of that, shows that there has to be a real true bond and a connection that still survives despite, like, you know, the acid rain of that Five of Swords there. Okay, so the bond must be really strong, but yeah, here we go. Done with third parties and you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. That is showing up right underneath Justice. Okay, meaning like your person wanting to do right by you in terms of like if they are actively engaged in third parties and stuff like that, they want to do the right thing by you when it comes to, you know, third party situations. Okay, because they're saying pile 3 that you are the best thing that's ever happened to them. Okay, not third party energies. Can't stop thinking about it. Yeah, they can't stop thinking about that. That is showing up right underneath that Ace of Pentacles. They know what's possible here. Okay, bottom of the deck says happy where I'm at. Let me see what direction that's moving towards, because that sometimes can be like a toxic comfort zone. Okay, I mean, no, they're saying like despite all of the fighting, despite all of, like, you know, the egos clashing and you guys, you know, being at odds with each other, they're happy with you. Okay, there's a really strong bond. I'm hearing unbreakable bond and connection between the two of you. That seed, for whatever reason, no matter what comes against it, it's almost like bulletproof. Bulletproof, fireproof, you know. Your person knows this. They can't stop thinking about it. They can see how beautiful things between the two of you could be if y'all could just figure this Five of Swords energy out. That's wounded energy. And the only way, it's not then really to figure out, it's just healing those wounds, right? And it feels like both of you have wounds. You might be healing yours. I mean, there could be healing happening. Let me see what's going on with this Five of Energies here. I mean, you know, with the Four of Swords showing up with the King of Pentacles, this is your person almost committing to, there's a couple of things, like stepping back from this Five of Swords energy to restabilize themselves. And so, yeah, there could be... if your person has stepped away from the connection, that's what they're doing. They're trying to restabilize. Something about you, there's active wounding that dysregulate. It's either coming from existing dysregulated nervous systems, or one person triggers the other person to get dysregulated, and then it goes back and forth. It's like a vicious cycle, right? Is there any healing happening here at all? I mean, healing is possible with that Justice energy, but again, it's just potential. Is there healing here actually happening? No, not yet. It's just, so what it is, it's the acknowledgement, right? The way your person knows that there's healing that's needing to happen. Wounds. There's wounds that need to be healed. There's voids that need to be healed, but actual healing is not happening. Knowing that needs to be done versus knowing how to do it are two different things. I feel like the how has not been discovered yet, at least on your person's part, pile 3. Okay, let's find out where you currently stand with them. Girl talk. Right on top of that Five of Swords, your person wants to neutralize that Five of Swords energy between the two of you. They want to neutralize the tension, okay? Because it says time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment and having fun. But it's not carrying the energy necessarily of moving on. It's like time with friends. Like, can you and I, pile 3, right, from your person's point of view. They're asking you, pile 3, can you and I spend time together and actually get along as friends? Can we figure out how to do that? Because if we can, then we'll be able to actually experience growth with that Ace of Pentacles, with that seed there. When you guys are getting along and you're not at odds, your person really enjoys your company, pile 3. Okay, but there's something that keeps hijacking that and taking that enjoyable energy and turning it into, like, you guys constantly, like, you know, going at each other, but not in a good way, in a bad way, right? Like at each other's throats all the time. That five of swords energy can be very cutthroat, hit below the belt. I just picked up on, there's bitterness. Okay, bitterness might be a trigger. Bitterness and resentment for some reason might activate fights between the two of you. Let's get a couple more. We got love, yeah. And that's right on top of justice. There's love between the two. Unconditional love, it says. Self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. All of that is still there. Regardless of what goes down between the two of you, how nasty things might get, okay? Your guys' love and your bond itself, right, being represented by that Ace of Pentacles, feels fireproof, feels bulletproof. No matter what comes against it to do damage, it just seems like it, you know, I mean, yeah, the love itself, the bond itself, but then again, you know, the connection can be not sabotage, but yeah, damaged, right? The bond is always going to be there, but then the connection itself that's born out of that bond can be affected negatively, okay? And that's what your person is saying. It's like, you know, the bond is eternal. It's unscatable. But the connection that is born out of that, if you guys don't figure out how to neutralize that Five of Swords energy, that wounding, heal that wounding that keeps triggering or activating, dysregulating nerve. You see what I'm saying? It's like you guys are not going to be able to ground your guys' bond into the real world, living life together, right? But where you stand with your person, you know, that love is unconditional. It's not going anywhere at all. No matter what happens or doesn't happen, it's always going to be there. Let's get one more. Stabbed in the back. Wow. And that's showing up right on top of that Ace of Pentacles. And a card showing up at the bottom of the deck. It says take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, and gaslighting. I'll see what direction that is going in a minute. Yeah, and yes, you know, stabbed in the back energy. I was picking up on bitterness and resentment. So, I mean, there could be something here about you and or them not being able to let go of the past, okay? Or if there is energy of bitterness and resentment, not being able to neutralize that. And so there's always tension between the two of you. And with that being said, it's like you guys are always at risk for getting into knockdown, drag out fights, right? And so that stabbed in the back is what's hijacking that Ace of Pentacles energy between the two of you from actually taking root in the real world. Okay, it says heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. I'm also hearing that you guys have a hard time getting on the same page about something. And that's causing a lot of tension between the two of you. And it's interesting because I just saw this crystal and it was pointing over. Can't stop thinking about it. Yeah. Your person doesn't like the state. They don't like where you guys are at in terms of like the connection itself. Because they know what's possible. And then they see where things are at. And the gap is just really big to them. Okay. Let's find out what they want. But again, it's like, you know, it's also pointing to the fact that your person still thinks that you're the best thing that's ever happened to them. But there just seems to be something that keeps getting in between the two of you that feels like it's not being overcome, okay? It feels like a giant ass mountain of some kind. Maybe that mountain has a name. I don't know. Let's see. What do they want? Oh, first let me look at Hand of Cards real quick. What's Hand of Cards, please? The bottom of the deck. This Hand of Cards. Tell me more about the Hand of Cards at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Okay. You guys, they associate a lot. They do not feel comfortable at all with walking away from their connection with you. For some reason, they are tying, it's like they see it as very risky, okay? And because I do feel happy with you, it says happy where I'm at. They feel happy regardless of what's going on in your guys' connection. It's like, you know, they don't want to walk away. They don't want to remain in this separation, but they are seeing it. They're both seeing it risky as staying with you, but they're also associating risk with like leaving you behind as well. They're very much in their head about it with this Eight of Swords in the upright position here. They're seeing risk with both, right? They are not comfortable right now. It's like they have choices to make and they don't feel comfortable with any option. Again, they are leaning more towards wanting to work things out with you, but there's very much a shit just got real kind of a vibe coming through here. Like they have to make a choice and they have to make it quick. They want to work things out with you, right? They want to figure out how to neutralize this bitter and resentment energy between the two of you, but they could be feeling at a loss for what to do, right? Especially, I mean, even if it's them and or if it's you, it's like how do you neutralize something if you don't know how to do it, right? Or, if someone else is the one with that bitterness and resentful energy, how do you get them to neutralize it, right? Your person is feeling very much stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. Unvalued. Says unconcerned and focused on self, and unvalued is right there. Let's get a couple more. They don't want to break their promise to you, okay? That's what they don't want to do. Let's get one more. What do they want when it comes to pile 3 and their connection with pile 3, please? One more. I will say pile 3, if your person had it their way, they would, they would restore the connection. They would heal whatever this rift or this divide is between the two of you, bridge that gap and root this Ace of Pentacles energy into the real world and actually nourish that. But right now, it's like, how do you stop acid rain from falling, right? That's kind of where they're at. Let's get one more. What do they want? Ooh, okay. This says divorce and alimony. It's a separation will be costly, complicated relationship terminating a marriage. That did almost want to come out in the reverse. This is like, okay, and then at the bottom of the deck we have secretly stalking, says curious about you, not over you, checking social media. That's what they can't stop thinking about, okay? Because that is showing up on top of, or right beneath where it says stabbed in the back with that Ace of Pentacles, and can't stop thinking about it. There's going to be a cost either way your person is seeing, right? There's going to be a risk and a cost associated with whatever choice they make. They're either, they're sacrificing something either way. They could be sacrificing a third party, right? But the funny thing is that's coming out as main on the main that's they're saying, right? For those of you, and this might be more specific, if your person is having to choose between you and a third party, they're already done with that third party, okay? At least energetically, mentally, and emotionally. It says they're done with third parties. They think you're the best thing that's ever happened to them. And it's like, you know, if it's between you and a third party, it's like they're kind of, that's that Libra energy too, weighing the scales. You know, they could associate a lot of turmoil and chaos and conflict and drama with you versus whatever they got going on with this other person. Okay? Now they're saying they don't want to break promises to you. That's not what they want, right? Let me see what's going on with that unvalued there. Actually, let me check secretly stalking. This is making your person sick, you guys. Whatever, yeah, because right now it's like they're having to, they got to make a choice, and that choice is going to require them to walk away from something, no matter what choice they make, and it is making them feel physically sick. Okay, tell me about secretly stalking showing up at the bottom of the deck. Again, that says curious about you, not over you, checking social media. Anything to add for that? All right, let's talk about unvalued real quick for what they're wanting when it comes to their connection with pile 3. Tell me about unvalued. We have, oh, what is that? Ooh, the Queen of Wands. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Tell me more. Yeah, that's the connection. Oh, wow. Your person is not, this is so weird. So why is this? Because what they're saying is they don't want to give the connection like the flowers that it deserves, okay? And it deserves a lot of flowers. The connection itself is coming through to your person in the energy of the Queen of Wands. It's very, very attractive, very magnetic, very seductive. Your person feels really good in the energy of your guys' connection. Maybe even when and during you guys are like in the middle of Five of Swords, there's just a very magnetic, alive, electrifying vibe between the two of you, being characterized by both the Queen of Wands and the Sun. The Sun, let me see, I'll see if I can, I'll cover it up. Okay. Yeah. Little naked baby there. Okay, so Leo energy heavily coming through, but you know, that's like 5th house energy. They really love your guys' connection, you guys, but it's like, again, that 5 of Swords energy kind of comes in and hijacks it. And I'm hearing your person say it's like, yeah, the energy itself between the two of you is like, it's amazing, okay? But is it worth all the fighting? All right, so why then do we have with, why is it being unvalued? Tell me more, because this is what they're wanting. It says taken for granted, unequal give and take, and not feeling appreciated. There's the Queen of Wands again. What is this? Is it because it's too much for them to handle it this time? Also, you know, Queen of Wands, the wand energy is, it's very potent and powerful for people that are not used to it. So let me figure out what's going on here. Like, why is this connection then? Why is pile 3's person not wanting to value this Queen of Wands-esque connection? There feels to be like an imbalance. Okay, it could feel like there's like a bit of an I'm gonna be honest. Your person might feel like they want to pull back because they could feel like maybe they're not feeling valued. And the fact that we keep getting the Queen of Wands here, this is specifically pointing in your direction, right? They feel like there's an unequal give and take because we got the King of Pentacles in the upright position and then the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Okay. This can also say too, where that doesn't resonate for those of you, it's like, you know, the commitment's not being fed through the heart space. Again, it's being trapped by this Five of Swords energy. You know, and when you're in that Five of Swords energy, when the nervous system is dysregulated, you are very much triggered into survival, fight or flight mode, right? Survival of the fittest. It's that kind of a thing, especially there with unconcerned and focused on self. And so it's like, you know, your person just wanting to focus on themselves. Like they could feel like, you know, when things are good between the two of you, things are really good, but when they're bad, they're really bad. And so they could just overall feel like right now they don't feel good when they're, you know, in around you or present in their connection with you. And so it's like, I just want to step back and focus on myself and nourish myself, because at this point in time, they're saying, pile 3, they're not feeling nourished by either you and or their connection with you. But that doesn't mean, let me check what's going on with divorce and alimony. This is almost carrying the energy, like if things can't get better between the two of you, if you guys can't absolve that Five of Swords energy, it's like, that's what they would want. They would want to terminate the connection and go in a different direction. Because no matter how amazing your guys' connection can be during the good times, it's like if the good times are few and far between, it's like they don't want to live the rest of their life like that. That's not what, you know. So, I mean, it's funny because, yeah, and that makes sense because I told you they were more leaning towards, you know, wanting to work things out, and they could be. This is that energy of saying, like, if I could, you know, wave a magic wand and have everything that I'd want, I'd absolve that Five of Swords energy and pile 3 and I would work things out. But they're thinking from a very realistic space, like, I don't have a magic wand that's going to do that. And so, you know, if we can't figure this Five of Swords energy out, then it's like, I'm going to have to go a different way. You know, yes, it's coming through as what they're wanting. They want to terminate the marriage or the relationship because it is consistently in that Five of Swords energy, right? They don't want to necessarily terminate your guys' connection or the bond, but what they are wanting to terminate is the dynamic that it's in most of the time. And right now, the dynamic is that Five of Swords. The core of it could be the Queen of Wands, right? When wounding isn't coming in and perverting it. All right, pile 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to donate towards the channel. I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, comment below, let me know that you picked this pile, okay? Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't done so, simply by subscribing, and don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 3, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, you guys.